Welcome back, super friends. Thank you again for joining Miss Choice for another math video. We are going to focus on topic 15-3, which is going to be measure with unit angles. So stay tuned for the video. I'm going to be helping you out with answering different questions. Be sure to have your notes. Be sure to have pencil. Be sure to have your brain. All right, friends, so getting started, we are going to focus on solving questions that measure with unit angles. Now, one thing that you need to pay attention to is that a unit angle is something that is easy to figure out without the use of a protractor. Protractor is those things that we use on Khan Academy to measure the angle and get that number for what that angle degree is. So unit angles are basically saying like, oh, if I see a right angle, I know that that is a 90-degree angle because that's a right angle. If I see a straight angle, I know that that's 180 degrees because it's a straight angle. So a circle is 360 degrees because it's a circle. Those are the things that we're going to focus on today. So for this picture, it says find the measure of the angle. Use pattern blocks to help. So in order to use pattern blocks, guys, it just basically means use a block around it, like draw a square so that you can go ahead and figure out what the actual angle is. And the way that I do the square is I make sure that I'm hovering over the corner of my angle and then like I make it into a square or a rectangle. So I'm going to start. It might not be beautiful, so bear with me. Whoops, almost. And then I just make sure I close it up. So now this looks like kind of like a square. And you can see that if it were an actual square, we would have a right angle, right? But we don't. We have an acute angle here. It's not obtuse. It's smaller than the right angle that we have. So I would think, is this about half of the right angle or not? It looks like it's a little bit bigger than half. So I don't know that it would be half of it. But what's a little bit bigger than half of 90 degrees? Let's check our options. All right, the options that we have are as follows. We have 180. Obviously, we know that's not true. We have 120. That's not going to work for us. 150. That's not going to work for us. 90. We are showing us an angle that is less than 90. So this 90 degree is not going to work for us. So we either have a 30 degree or a 60 degree. So if we're doing less than our 90-degree angle here, but it's not that far off from it, so I would say it's either going to be the 60 or the 30. Think about it this way. Which number is closest to 90 degrees? The 60 or the 60 or the 30? The 60 is. So with that being said, I would choose 60 for this angle. If the angle was like a little bit smaller, like maybe right here, then I would think it was a 30. Let's check our answer. We are correct. All right, this question is a good one because this is an obtuse angle. So we're not dealing with a right angle. We're not dealing with an acute. We're dealing with an obtuse. And the easiest way to deal with obtuse angles is by drawing a straight line. All right, so we will make our straight line just so that we can see how far we're dealing with. So at this time, all right, that's as good as it's going to get. So this straight line is showing me that there's like a very eensy-beensy, tiny acute angle here. And remember, what is the straight line equal? 180 degrees. So whatever I'm dealing with, I need to make sure that it's less than 180 degrees so that I know that it's going to work for me. So if this little baby angle over here existed, let me see what options I have to figure out which I can eliminate, and that way it gives me a better choice. So far, this little baby angle looks like it's definitely not 60. So I would say that little baby angle is 30. I know it's not 180. This cannot be 180 because it's not a full straight line. It cannot be 90 because it's not a right angle. It cannot be 60 because it's not an acute angle. And it can't be 30, obviously, because the 30, I think, is over here. So it could either be 120 or 150. If it was 120, guys, if we did 180 minus 120, that means that the angle would be 60. This angle doesn't look like 60. We did a 60-degree angle earlier, and it was a bit bigger than this, right? So since we think the small baby angle over here is 30 degrees, why don't I do 180 minus 30 and see what that gives me? That would give me, that's not true. That would give me 150 degrees. So 150 degrees would be what I'm working with. Let's check ourselves. Nice work. We are correct. Let's move on to the next question. This is an awesome question because it's telling us, or it's asking us, what is the measure of the angle of the yellow hexagon pattern block? This is cool because it is an obtuse angle, obviously, but we don't know exactly which one. I do know that if I count up the different sides of the hexagon, I'm dealing with 6, I believe. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, I said sides, I meant angles. I have 6 angles here, right? So now I'm trying to figure out what exactly does each of these 6 angles equal. So what I would do, again, follow my handy dandy trick of making it a straight line. When it comes to obtuse, make it a straight line. Okay, now this angle is not so baby anymore. The last time we had a straight line, it was a baby angle, right? So this one looks probably around 60 or so. So whatever that is, our angle has to be somewhere that shows us 180 minus 60. That's going to give us 0 minus 0 is 0. 8 minus 6 is 2. And then I bring down my 1. So I'm thinking it's 120 degrees. Let's check if that's an option. Yep. Let's try it out. Oh, nice work. We did it. Let's move on to the next question. All right, guys, this next question says, Lucy buys some flooring with a length of 15 feet and a width of 5 feet. 1/5 of the flooring is red and the rest is white. What is the area of the white part of the flooring? So Miss Joyce loves to underline and circle important information. So Lucy is buying some flooring that is length is 15, width is 5. 1/5 is red, and then the rest is white. If I know 1/5 of it is red, then obviously I need to do 5/5 minus 1/5 to see how many fifths are white. And that's just going to be 4. So I have 4/5 over there. So which part is the white part of the flooring with the area? So area, length times width, we know is multiplying. So let's get that part going. I have 15 times 5. That's 50. And then that's 25. Add them together. It equals 75. So this is 75 feet squared. That's the area of the whole place. But remember, we are trying to figure out what is 4/5 of that amount. So that just means that we need to multiply this by 4 and then divide it by 5. Or the way that we can do this, which is the way that I taught you guys in the video from yesterday, or I would just multiply. Nah, I won't multiply first. I'll divide by my denominator first, and then I'll finish by multiplying by my numerator, which is what I taught you guys yesterday. So let's divide first by the denominator, and I'll set up my little division over here. Okay, so 75 divided by 5. How many times is 5 go into 7? 1 time. Subtract out my 5. That gives me 2. Bring down my 5 here. 5 goes into 25 5 times. Subtract it out. I get 0. So now I'm dealing with 15 up here, right? So now my answer is 15. But remember what I said to do with that 15. You have to multiply that 15 by the numerator, which is the 4 that we're trying to deal with. So 15 times 4. 5 times 4 is 20. Regroup. 2 times 1 or sorry, 4 times 1 is 4 plus 2 more is 6. So I believe our answer is going to be 60 square feet. Let's try it out. 60 square feet. Let's check our answer. Oh, perfect. So if you need me to go over this again, you just rewind. And anytime you need to pause, you just pause whenever. All right, guys, this last one is talking about a clock, and you're going to see if like probably 2 or 3 questions about clocks on your quick check. So let's go ahead and see exactly what we're dealing with. As you can see, I drew a clock here because I know we're getting ready to deal with some clock time. So it says the hands of a clock form a 150-degree angle. Name 2 different times it could be. So I want 2 different answers. So basically all that I need to start doing is thinking about the circle that I made with my clock and how many degrees is it for each hour. So I know exactly how many degrees I need to make a 150 angle. So what I would do with any time you have to break things up, if I'm breaking up this circle by the hours, that means I need to divide. So again, there are 360 degrees in a circle. So I'm going to start that. And then I know I'm going to divide it by however many hours there are in the clock. How many hours is it? It goes from 1 all the way to 12. So I'm dividing by 12. Okay, if I were you, and that means you would be super, 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 super bright because you know that you need to get your 12s facts going. So I have 12, 24, 36. Uh-oh, there's that 36 that I see. Which factor is that? 3? So I put a 3 on top of the 6. Subtract out my 36. I get a 0. Bring down the next 0. 12 goes into 0 times. So now I know that this is going to be 30 degrees. Each of these hours is 30. So anytime I go to the next hour, I'm counting by 30. 30 degrees, that means. Let me go ahead and label them. Shouldn't take too long. Again, you should be doing everything that I'm doing on here, guys, you do on your paper. That way, when it comes to the actual question, you know how to solve it. Excuse me. All right, last 30 up here. All right, so now let's look at the times. So for 7 o'clock, I would have a shorthand. Let me change the color. I would have a shorthand at the 7, and then a longhand at the 12. And then this would be an angle right here. So if that was the case, this looks kind of like a straight line, but it's not. It looks like a wonky straight line. If it was a straight line, it would be from 6 to 12. That would be a straight line. So if that's the case, let's count how many hours we have. We have 7 to 8, so that's 30. 30, 60, 90. Let me show you. 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. Yep, that works. That gives me 150. So I'm going to circle this because it's working. Let's look at the 5 o'clock. A different color for 5 o'clock. All right, so for the 5 o'clock, again, we'd be at the 12, and then we would be at the 5. Again, it looks like a straight line, but it's not. The only straight line right now would be from 12 to 6, or it would be from 9 to 3, or it would be from 11 to 5, like any straight, diagonal, horizontal, vertical lines. That would be a straight line, but this one is not because it's a little curved. So let's see how many 30s we're dealing with to see if it gives us 150. So from 12 to 1, that's 30. Then I do another jump for the next hour. That's 60, 90, 120, 150. There we go. That one works too. So 5 o'clock works. All right, let's try the 11 o'clock. I'll do this blue. All right, so 11 o'clock is going to be from 11 to 12. What the? That just looks like 1:30. That's not going to work. No, 11. That won't work. Okay, let's look at 1 o'clock. Got to find a new color. All right, so that would be from 12 to 1. Again, with the just 30, that's not going to work for the 1 o'clock. Let's look at the 2 o'clock. The 2 o'clock is going to be from 12 to 2, and that just looks like 60 because it's 30 twice. That's not going to work for us either. So the only two that works for us is the 7 o'clock and the 5 o'clock because those two give us our 150 degrees. So I'm going to choose those answers and let's see if we're correct. Ooh, we are so smart, I can't even take it. Thank you again for watching Miss Choice's math video, my super friends. Feel free to subscribe to my page if you want to have more videos that help you with solving math questions that you may be encountering during your school year. If you did enjoy this video and you did find it helpful, feel free to like the video.